And welcome to Altogether Interesting Content and Programming for the Forever Curious. Today is going to be another episode of Radio Reminiscences, brought to you inadvertently by the folks at the Nielsen Radio Ratings program, because I feel mildly guilty, tepidly guilty, about taking their crisp $2 bills without really listening to radio very much anymore. Although I'm finding a lot of the radio I used to listen to is now transformed itself into podcasts and audible books. So that's actually been a very interesting part of this. So this part of the series is today's Radio Reminiscence is about Black Cat Theater. In my head, when I was little, it was always called Black Cat Theater. It was actually CBS Mystery Theater, and it ran from 1974 to 1982. It was E.G. Marshall was one of the hosts, and the very first episode starred Agnes Moorehead, who was actually really huge during the golden age of mystery theater on radio. And for some reason it's her voice I always think of when I think of the Black Cat Theater. The reason it's called Black Cat Theater is that was part of their little logo when they were for the CBS Mystery Theater series. And just a slight aside, I am a former owner, she passed away after 17 years, of a lovely little black cat kitty, and they are not bad luck. They are lovely little animals. So if you happen to be in the market for adopting a pet, especially a cat, please check into your local animal shelter and pick up one of those lovely black cats. Apparently they're among the hardest animals to get adopted as little black cats. So apparently all that silliness still goes on. So check it out. My Peabody was a joyful, goofy member of my family for 17 years. So give it a thought. So when I was really young and living in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is on the Gulf Coast of Texas, we had not only wonderful beaches, especially back in the 70s, before a lot of construction happened. We had, sort of unfettered access to Padre Island and Mustang Island, and it was beautiful. But we also had lots of tropical storms and lots of rain. So on nights when it wasn't tropical storms and we were hiding in the closet hoping the duct tape would hold the windows together, on just regular rainy nights, we'd gather in the fancy family room around this beautiful old wooden radio console that was sort of a combination turntable and FM AM radio station. And at 9 o'clock at night on Wednesdays, I think it was Wednesdays, we would gather around and listen to the lights off the CBS Mystery Theater. And my parents grew up during the Depression and during World War II, so radio dramas were a big part of their childhood. So the other part of the fun was listening to them tell us stories about when they were little, listening to these kind of mysteries and their behind-the-scenes knowledge of the stars of the mysteries. So that was a lot of fun. And I found out when researching this piece that you can actually find Black Cat Theater, the CBS Mystery Theater, still available. It ended in 1982, but it's available as podcasts. It even has, it even has its own, there are people who are hosting their own website with it. It's the CBS Radio Mystery Theater at cbsrmt.com, and they actually have all 1,399 Mystery Theater episode summaries. So you can look at all of the episodes. You can find them on YouTube. Even Audible has them. The Audible app has them. A lot of podcasts have them. They've been turned sort of into a podcast creation. So there are lots of places where you can actually still listen to these really fun old movie thrillers and enjoy them with your family and turn off the lights and have some popcorn and maybe play some board games and listen to the radio in the background. So thank you to the Nielsen Radio Ratings folks for sharing, giving me this slightly guilt-edged incentive to look back at some of my favorite radio reminiscences, and I'm actually going to explore in some of the next ones. This is number 2 in a 7-part series, because it's a 7-part radio ratings thing that I'm doing for them. There are a lot of my favorite old radio programs that are now podcasts and available for you to listen to, or they're been turned into sort of audible book, put on audible book applications. So we'll be exploring more of those in the future, and I hope you enjoyed this reminiscence. I'm actually going to turn this off, turn on the very first of the CBS Mystery Theater series, which has Agnes Moorehead in it. She is one of my favorite actresses. She was Samantha's mom in Bewitched. She has also starred in one of my very favorite old-time classic mysteries, The Bat, which also starred Vincent Price, who was also really big in the golden age of radio. So lots of fun things to explore, and I'll be back tomorrow.